Mr. Otter Studio. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make a papier-mâché bowl. You may need to watch the first videos. I have a video right here, how to make papier-mâché paste, and the video here, how to begin papier-mâché, and that's going to talk to you about paper and other important things. But if you've already watched those, then you're ready to start. So start with a bowl. The first thing you're going to do is cover your bowl in plastic. You can use plastic grocery bags, any kind of plastic you have around. Cover what you're making papier-mâché over. And then what I like to do for bowls is I like to take a piece of tape across the top of it from both sides just to kind of keep it in its spot. So I'm just using masking tape. So the reason I do this is just to keep my plastic bag secure. And then you turn your bowl over so it's upside down, and then we're gonna start covering this with papier-mâché. I like to set it up in this order: papier-mâché, my strips of paper, my paste, and then whatever project I'm working on. If you're left-handed, maybe it works better to go from the left. So I usually just dip it under. I use one finger. Then I slide it through my fingers to get off the excess, and then I just lay it over. So again, to get these pieces of paper wet, I dunk it under and then I just hold it under with one finger, and then I take my two fingers and slide off the excess. So I'm going to cover this with 2 layers, and that's actually it. I don't want this to be super, super thick. If you want a stronger bowl, then you're gonna need to put more layers on it. Maybe even put 2 layers on it, let it dry, and then put 3 layers on it. Okay, so it looks like I'm getting close to having all of my layers on here. So I'm just gonna check around the edges. Just make sure I have some paper on each spot, which I do. It's a little wavy right here, so if I don't want it to be popping out, I could just use tape or put extra pieces on there. I'm gonna put 1 piece going the opposite direction. So again, this is two layers of papier-mâché. These are magazine pages that I've just torn apart, and I show you how to do that on this tutorial, a time-saving technique. So once you're to this point, what you wanna do is grab your bowl. So I'm just gonna check around it, make sure everything's kind of down where I want it. Now you need to set this somewhere to dry overnight so you get rid of all of the moisture. So at least for 24 hours. Set it upside down like this, and I usually just set it on top of a piece of newspaper somewhere. This papier-mâché paste is gonna stick to things. Set it somewhere to dry, and I will show you this after it has dried, and we'll go from there. Once you let your bowl dry overnight or for a few days, however much time you have, I'm just gonna be using some acrylic paints to paint it with. But before we paint it, let's take it off of the other bowl. So we just covered the other bowl, remember, with plastic. There's the inside. You can keep it like this, or you can paint it. And you can, I use acrylic paints to paint it with. Just make sure they're not too wet, too much water is in them, or it's gonna make your papier-mâché too soggy and it might lose its form. You can also use scissors to cut designs out of the sides of your bowl. So I just cut the edges kind of to look like flower petals. So cut the edges if you want them cut. Okay, really quick color mixing. I like to just mix them in empty, like yogurt containers or just some plastic containers that I have around. So I'm gonna mix the red with the white, and sometimes I like to put just a drop of orange or yellow. Mix that up. I'm also gonna put some newspaper underneath my bowl. So the reason I like to put newspaper underneath what I'm painting is because it just makes cleanup a lot faster. And I don't have a ton of time, so. Okay, and I'm just using a larger brush to paint with, but you can use whatever size you have. And of course, paint your bowl however you want. I'm just gonna show you how I'm painting mine. Okay, so I have my paint mixed up in my bowl. I think I'm gonna start just on the outside of it. The more opaque, which means you can't see through it, you want it, you just need to add more layers of paint. Now, you wouldn't put cereal in these bowls, but you could put chips maybe that weren't greasy, maybe some candies. You could fill it with like something decorative, but it's not gonna hold liquid. Now I'm gonna let this dry, and when it's dry, I'm gonna flip it over and paint the other side. You can paint polka dots on this, you can leave it, you can do whatever you want. I think it's fun to paint it. Maybe even paint it in the style of an artist that you like. Like if you like Georgia O'Keeffe, find one of her flower paintings and paint those patterns on this bowl. I hope you enjoyed doing this tutorial. Papier-mâché is such a fun medium. It's so cheap. It's easy, children can do it, adults can do it, and you can do so many different things with it. So here is my finished bowl. I just put some eggs in there. Here's the outside, the inside. So I did cut some more slits around the edges. So anyway, you can decorate these bowls however you want, paint them however you want, put whatever you want in them, as long as it's not liquid or has any kind of moisture in it. Have fun with this project. I like to show you techniques and then see what you do with them. So I'm interested to see what you guys make. If you make anything really cool, share it with us on our Facebook page. There is a link below. And have a wonderful day. We'll see you around on YouTube.